Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cyberbullying Awareness. I'm your host, Esbiedy.
And I'm your host, Daniela.
And today we're going to be talking about cyberbullying at Franklin High School. We're reporting to you live on May 11th, 2019. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in Highland Park. So, Daniela, what do you know about cyberbullying?
Well, what I know about cyberbullying is that it's one of the biggest problems in high schools all around the world. This is by far the easiest way for people to target their own classmates with hateful comments, threats, torments, and to humiliate them. This has become a very big problem in schools worldwide because of social media, including ours.
Have you guys ever stopped to think about how much time we all spend on social media? Nowadays, we use it so much that for some it's become the new normal. Lots of us are constantly on our smartphones no matter what we're doing or where we are, and we don't even notice it. But to others, it gets more serious as to it being an addiction. For many people, it is now hard to be away from their phone. It may cause them anxiety, stress, or even just boredom. Many people like this usually use their phones to avoid certain things like interactions with one another or daily activities. With that being said, how could cyberbullying not be such a big issue for us teens? From the minute we wake up, we go online and check who's liked their pictures, left a comment, what celebrities bought a new car, etc. Our phones are so involved in our day-to-day lives that we don't really think about what's going on in reality. We don't know who's crying and hurt over the things being said about them online. We just scroll past it and act like if it's normal, or for others it's even entertaining.
According to a survey done by the Cyberbullying Research Center, about 34% of students in middle and high schools have been cyberbullied in 2016. This was the biggest report of cyberbullying since they started its organization 10 years ago. As this problem continues to grow, it's important for our teachers, administrators, and parents to understand the effects of cyberbullying and to know what can be done to prevent it.
Due to the fact that cyberbullying transpires over social media, we decided to focus on just one platform to get a closer look at what's really going on. We're curious as to how a billion-dollar company handles the cases that are being reported for cyberbullying. We went ahead and gave Instagram a call to see what would be their take on stopping cyberbullying situations. But unfortunately, this is as good as it gets.
Hello, and thank you for calling. For Facebook, press 1. For Instagram, press 2. Thanks for calling Instagram. We're sorry we're unable to answer your call at this time. For most situations, we are unable to provide phone support.
As some of you may know, a couple of weeks ago, an Instagram profile was created called Panthers Confess. It's almost ironic that this page came up around this time when we are shooting this podcast because these pages usually happen before school starts in the late summers or during the early school year like August and September. From what we've seen, it's usually to embarrass people and quote-unquote expose them for what they've done as they come into the new environment of high school. Our guess is that this is done to humiliate them and for everyone to see the things they've done in their past.
This page in specific was the one that we chose to do our research on because not only was it the most recent cause of cyberbullying at our school, but it also gained a big following the span of one day before it was reported and deleted. On this page, lots of rumors were being made to embarrass students with topics such as personal opinions on anyone who came to our school, personal business, lies about our teachers, names of students and what grade they were in, followed by accusations. This account went viral and overnight they gained about 1,000 followers.
Unfortunately, since cyberbullying is such a widespread problem, there isn't just one thing we can do to help terminate this issue. But for example, here at our own school, talking to teachers and counselors is always an available resource to all of us. We need our school staff members to be educated on cyberbullying so that students feel comfortable talking to them about what's happening, whether it be a problem of their own or maybe a friend's. We want staff at our schools to be well aware that cyberbullying is going on literally every single day all around them. From here, depending on the severity of the case, school police can be informed and help students find out who is saying harsh things about them or simply just track down the person who is creating pages like this one so that they can be punished for what they've said. Now we have an interview with a faculty member from Franklin High School.
Just as a disclaimer, names have been changed in the situation to protect the identity of the people involved.
Hi, my name is Valentino. I'm the custodian at Franklin High School.
Valentino, what have you heard regarding the Panthers Confess Instagram profile?
I heard from a couple of students that they are being exposed by the classmate, but they don't know who did it, and then it's pretty alarming to them. So they are very upset about the confessing page.
What do you mean by that, like exposing?
Okay, basically the privacy is being exposed on Instagram.
So students that come here to Franklin are exposing one another?
Yes.
How do you feel about this?
I totally against it, and I feel like our students like being exposed, and then they're feeling their lives being violated.
What do you know about cyberbullying?
I only know a little bit about it because before students being exposed through Snapchat, right now it's through Instagram.
You've seen it before here at Franklin?
Yes.
What's the worst case of cyberbullying that you've seen here at our school?
Ex-boyfriend and ex-girlfriend are being exposed, and then they just badmouth each other and things like that.
Do you know what social media was involved with that incident?
Yes, it was through Snapchat.
What would be your approach to stop cyberbullying situations like these?
I would suggest the principal to ban all cell phone use.
Do you feel safe working here?
No.
Who do you think is typically the target? Like here at school, is there specific people that you think is targeted the most?
I believe the cheerleaders, the victims.
What makes you say that?
I believe the person that posts the confession is he belonging in the football team. That's what I feel. And then I heard a lot of things that football players dating cheerleaders. And
Have you heard of anything being done so far to stop this page in specific?
the principal already informed the school police, so but I doubt that they're gonna do anything. So if I were a principal, I would notify the FBI right away. They can track the IP address, and then they can track down the phone who's the one who posted all of the computers that are being used for this.
Do you have any advice to people getting cyberbullied or any other comments?
I would suggest that person notify the administrations right away and notify parents, and then try not to do anything stupid.
How do you think cyberbullying is affecting the students here?
I believe we have a negative impact on everybody's, not only student, also the teacher as well. It just give them a lot of stress, and it all causes a lot of mental breakdown and depressions.
Up next, we have another interview, but this time we're going to be hearing about the Panthers Confess profile through the eyes of a victim.
Good morning, Frank. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty okay. What about you?
I'm doing good, thanks for asking. To start off this interview, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions regarding the Panthers Confess Instagram profile that was created a couple of weeks ago. Many people, including myself, saw you were one of the many victims on this page, and we're curious as to how it made you feel when you were being targeted.
It made me feel upset because what they were saying wasn't true, and it was slandering my name, and I didn't like that, and it would hurt my reputation. It's not fair for me.
Do you feel like this cyberbullying action was affecting your life on a daily basis here at school?
No, not really. I was just going with my day like that. I wouldn't let it get to me.
Did you ever have random people come up to you and question you about it, or bring it up?
They would bring it up. They'd be like, "Oh, did you see it?"
It was brought up to your attention that many people around you had seen it?
Yeah, it was.
Did you try to resolve this problem by talking to someone, maybe your counselor, friends, or family members even?
It's not that big of a deal to me because for some other people, what they were saying is more of a big deal than what they said about me.
Do you think if you would have brought it to someone else's attention, maybe someone the dean, or basically just report it to somebody else, do you think that would have made a difference? Maybe not in your case, but...
Yeah, I think it would have made a difference because, if you report it, then that means, the administrators are gonna go, investigate it because they don't want, their, students at risk, and then they probably don't want parents to come and complain, so they wouldn't want that. So I think it would have helped. It would have helped get to the problem faster and help solve the issue.
Okay, is there anything else you would like to tell us, or what are your personal views on cyberbullying?
Cyberbullying is a hard topic to talk about for me because in one case, if you're being cyberbullied, you're usually gonna get bullied in real life, but if not, you should I don't know, I can't say get on social media, but maybe not go on it as much. I don't really know, but it's just a hard topic to discuss.
In your opinion, what would be the solution for something like this?
In my opinion, I don't really know if there would be a solution. People are always going to say something about one another because they don't like each other or because they just want to hurt their reputation, and just people are always going to be like that. But maybe to help not make cyberbullying as big as it is. It's probably just reported to the people that can do something, or report it to the police so they can get tracked down the person that made the account. And yeah.
Before we continue, we would like to offer some support to those of you listening. If you or anyone else that you know needs someone to talk to or would like to make an anonymous cyberbullying report, feel free to call 1-800-273-8255. For other emergencies, please dial 911. Now we have an interview with a good friend of mine named Sarah, which I've known for about 4 years now. And she as well has been cyberbullied, not specifically through the Panthers Confess Instagram profile, but she was cyberbullied through Instagram as well.
So I'm Sarah. I have been cyberbullied. Currently I'm not being cyberbullied, but I was in middle school. It was very bad. I hung out with these girls that were very drama oriented. They were very into drama. And so I was kind of pulled into that environment. And because of that, I got so much attention and people didn't like me. I don't know why. I was just being myself. And then I look on social media, I get all these like notifications and people are texting me that are like, oh, hey, like somebody made a hate page about you. I was like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like, why would I be getting targeted?
In that moment, how did that make you feel?
I felt so like under pressure. I felt like my whole world was like it was just falling apart. Like I felt like I was going to die pretty much. Like I was panicking so much because I didn't know what it was until they told me that it was a hate page about me.
You felt like all eyes were on you at this time?
Exactly, yeah. And I think that's why right now I feel so self-conscious because of that experience in middle school. I think I try to present myself in a way that I know this is bad, but like how others would like to see me.
So definitely that's one of the long-term effects that's having you?
Yeah.
Well, when you first found out about it and you were like startled basically, right? So once you finally went on Instagram and started to see the page or the post, what were they even saying? Or
they were saying, oh my god. So they said that I was a hoe, that I was promiscuous, that at the time I was skateboarding, and they said that I only did that to get attention from guys. They also said that all of my friends were mean and that we were like the mean girls. They even said that I dressed weird even though we wore the same uniform. Like it didn't even make sense. It's like, what?
So they definitely did torment you with many comments, even about like just you in general, which I know for a fact weren't even true, you know? Like
I think people just spread rumors just to like project their own insecurities. I mean, that's cliche, but I do believe that.
How did you deal with that? Did you talk to anybody or?
I talked to my siblings. I talked to my sister. She helped me a lot. She's very confident, and so that's why I've fed off that confidence, and now I'm way more confident than I was in middle school.
Did any school authority get involved, or was it just kind of like you were on your own?
I didn't want to get involved with the school, like the teachers, but I did talk to my homeroom teacher, but we didn't really do anything about it. Not because she didn't want to, but because I didn't want to. But yeah, she did help a lot, my homeroom teacher.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but personally, in my opinion, I feel like most people who are cyberbullied, especially, you know, like in middle school or high school like we are in now, a lot of us are scared to come forward and do something about it, you know? Like, we kind of just let it go because we don't want people to say, like, oh, they're snitches, or, oh, it wasn't even a big deal, you know? But it is a big deal because it keeps happening and they don't realize, you know, like, what kind of effects it's having on everybody. So, if you were to have done something, what would you have done?
I probably would have confronted them, not in a respectful way, just to know, like, if I've offended them or in any way, or alert, like, school administrators, that for sure. Yeah, but definitely talk to them, communicate in a better way besides, like, through social media. And then talked more about it, like, to my family, because I felt like at that time I was at, like, my lowest, so I should have.
Like, it's definitely something that now you look back on and you're like, oh, well, I could have done this. What we see a lot of is people don't like to speak up. They don't like to ask for help. It's understandable, but it's just kind of, like, crazy to see, like, every situation is similar in that aspect. Do you have any other comments you have to say or advice you want to give people, especially here at our school?
I think just know your worth. That definitely helped me. I know that I'm not what other people think, and
that's okay.
Yeah.
As a friendly reminder, I would like to say it's important to be kind to one another and try to spread positivity in any way, shape, or form. Not just today, but every day. I guarantee you that it can put the biggest smile on some people's faces, whether it's a compliment or random act of kindness. It's greatly appreciated and it makes you feel great inside. Sometimes we get so caught up in our lives that we forget about what's going on with the people around us. But not today. I challenge all of you to do at least one good deed for the day.
Thank you for tuning into our podcast.
This concludes today's episode of Cyberbullying Awareness, starring Franklin High School. I'm your host and audio editor, Esbiedy.
I'm your scriptwriter, Ben.
And I'm your other host, Daniela.
B.
E. D.